Hey viewers, welcome to Down the Rabbit Hole. I'm your host, Bckwrdbbq, and this week we're going to be looking at Little Shop of Horrors. Let's go down the rabbit hole. The film was based on an off-Broadway musical which was in turn based on a black and white B film from the 60s. The original is infamous for being shot in only 2 days, with only one night of reshoots.
I got a talking plant. Say it again.
Me.
Oh, boy.
The plant does still talk in this version, but is referred to as Audrey Jr. instead of Audrey II.
I'll take your word for it. Gee, Junior, I'd like to feed you, but I used up all my fingers.
Me! You are the young man who ruined my gladiolas, huh? Sit down.
The dentist is not dating Audrey in this version, but just wants revenge because Seymour messed up his order.
Guess what?
My tooth stopped hurting. Yes, I know.
Mushnick actually figures out what is going on and actually tricks a robber into the plant himself. The same conversation is actually used in the stage version when Seymour tricks Mr. Mushnick into the plant.
Boy, what I did.
Audrey and Mr. Mushnick actually survive in this version.
I'm sure I need a long, slow root canal.
The character that Bill Murray plays is not actually in the stage musical, but is based on a character played by Jack Nicholson in the original.
That. I have 3 or 4 abscesses, a touch of pyorrhea, 9 or 10 cavities, I lost my pivot tooth, and I'm in terrible pain.
The original ending to the movie was a lot closer to the stage production. Audrey is fed to the plant and Seymour is eaten, and the plant takes over the entire country. This sequence cost about $5 million to shoot and took a year and a half of production. It was a fifth of the entire film's budget. The movie at the time was the most expensive film Warner Brothers had ever produced. Audiences, however, did not respond positively to this ending. In order for the film to be released, they had to get a score of at least 55, and they got a score of 13. Therefore, they were forced to write a happy ending for the movie in which Audrey and Seymour live. In the original ending, Paul Dooley played Patrick Martin.
Across the nation. Pretty soon, every household in America will have one.
He was unavailable for reshoots, so when they changed the ending, they recast the role with James Belushi.
Across the nation. Why, pretty soon, every household in America could have one.
The original ending was first released on the 1998 DVD release, but it was only a black and white work copy. The producer did not like the black and white work copy and required all of the DVDs to be recalled after only 1 week. That edition of the DVD is ultra rare. The original color master copy of the ending was lost in 2002 in a fire at Warner Brothers. The ending was then restored for the Blu-ray release. Most of the original negatives were stored in the wrong boxes. It took them a year and a half to find and recompile all of the original negatives. There is also a famous extended version of the song The Meek Shall Inherit featuring a bizarre dream sequence. Howard Ashman and Alan Menken originally wrote the entire score as a more traditional musical, and it just wasn't working. It was when they decided to change it to a doo-wop style that it began to work. They then rewrote the entire score. Alan Menken has performed many of these original songs, and a lot of them are available on the Broadway cast soundtrack.
We'd soon be at war with a plant from beyond the cosmos. Greens from outer space come to meet us and eat us like junk food, devouring the whole human race.
Mean Green Mother from Outer Space was written specifically for the movie, but it is based on the song Bad, which was deleted from the original run.
Bad. I'm real bad. I'm bad.
According to Wikipedia, the demographics of the real-life Skid Row in LA are 25% white, 26% African American, 5% Asian, and 40% other races and planets. During one of the takes of Steve Martin kicking the door open, his hands actually went through the windows and cut his palm. In 1991, Fox released a animated kids show called Little Shop. The plant is called Audrey Jr. and eats pizza and has mind control powers. Joey Fatone of NSYNC actually played Seymour on Broadway during the last year of its run. Ellen Greene actually reprised her role as Audrey from the original off-Broadway production in the movie. This is believed to be the earliest time this has ever happened. One of the dental patients is actually Heather Henson, Jim Henson's daughter. Bill Murray only agreed to do the part if he could improvise his lines. All of his lines are improvised and no two takes were the same. The foam rubber was so slow, they had to shoot at 12 frames per second and then speed it up to 24 frames per second for the movie.
You don't know what you're talking, you got no idea.
At one point, the largest plant required up to 60 puppeteers to control all of its parts. They even invented a new way to control the vines with animatronics. There was a bizarre British kids show in the 80s called Emu's Wide World. It featured this guy and his puppet Emu, and a bunch of kids that were really good at choreography. And a witch named Grotbags was the main villain. She sang this.
We gotta do things my way, or we won't do things at all. You don't know what you're messing in. You got no idea. You don't know what you're looking at. When you're looking here, you don't know what you're up against. No way, no how. You don't know what you're messing with. But I'm gonna tell you now. Get this straight. I'm just a mean green mother from outer space, and I'm sad.
That's it for this episode. Here's a clue about the next episode. Be sure to leave a comment about what you think the episode will be about, and be sure to subscribe so you can find out for sure when I post. Until next time, may the Force be with you.